Hare. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachare. Jamuna Tira Vanachare. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihare. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihare. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachare. Jamuna Tira Vanachare. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihare. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihare. Jaya Mushapada Paramahamsa Paribrajaka Stottara Shata Shishimat. His Divine Grace Srila Bhai Charana Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki. ISKCON Bhakti Founder-Acharya Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jaya Mushapada Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Acharya Stottara Shata Shishimat. His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रज वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप धाम की जय। जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। जगन्नाथ गंगा माई की जय। जमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। तुलसी महारानी की जय। समावेत भक्त वृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. Glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are discussing on appearance and activities of Lord Shri Krishna. Lord Krishna describes himself, Janma karma cha me divyam evam vyaktiyo tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti soarjan. You know this verse very well. But it is very important that we get its implementation in our life while performing devotional service as it's been described by Srila Prabhupada, following all the four regulative principles and chanting 16 rounds with determination, with commitment throughout the life. In this human form of life, we cannot take a gamble again to come back without any purpose, or animal purpose is eating, sleeping, mating and defending. That's not this life meant for. This human form of life is obtained after many, many births. Labdva idam sudurlabham bahu sambhavante. And to evolve from this human form of life, Darwin doesn't have any plan. All right? Otherwise, if his theory of origin of species is true, then what could be the possible dimension that human being can ever evolve further? What do you think? You can become demigod, but they are already existing. You can't occupy even the position of demigods, because they are so intimately one. Yeah. I'm just trying to meditate and speak. All right. Prabhupada has already given the outline, and that is guaranteed. All right? But I'm trying to put up a little in more perspective of what Śrīmad Bhāgavatam also tells. The purport the translation is that one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving this body, take his birth again in the material world, but attains my eternal abode or arjan. Now, do we have to simply resort on belief system, or it's an experiential truth? We can't believe, we have to live with an experience. And the methodology is also given. In the 9th chapter, the secrets of the devotional service is to be revealed only to those who are not envious. Right? So, I mean, how much more we have to be coming in the reality that we become enviousless. We have to curb envy so Krishna can manifest in our practices. Practices are perfect. The process is perfect. Prabhupada said, I may be imperfect, but the process I follow is perfect. So this process, those who have taken up through disciplic succession and everything, it's a discipline. The process is perfect. And we are gradually uplifting ourselves. That is also experienced, and we do not want to give up by any means the process of Krishna consciousness, because it's giving in experiential truth. at little extent, more extent. But here, Krishna's promise is that you will never come back again, but return to my abode. Right? So, Srila Prabhupada is telling the Lord's descent from his transcendental abode is already explained in the 6th verse. One who understands the truth of the appearance of the personality of Godhead is already liberated from material bondage, and therefore he returns to the kingdom of God immediately after quitting this present material body. Such liberation of the living entity from the material bondage is not at all easy. The impersonalist and yogis attain liberation only after much trouble and many, many births. Even then the liberation they achieve, merging into the impersonal Brahmajyoti of the Lord, is only partial, and there is the risk of returning to this material world. But the devotee, simply by understanding the transcendental nature of the body and activities of the Lord, attains the abode of the Lord after ending this body and does not run the risk of returning to this material world. In the Brahma Samhita, 5th chapter, 33rd verse, it is stated that the Lord has many, many forms and incarnation, Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadim, Anantarupam. Although there are many transcendental forms of the Lord, they are still one and the same Supreme Personality of Godhead. One has to understand this fact with conviction, although it is incomprehensible to the mundane scholars and empiric philosophers. As stated in the Vedas, Purusha Bodhini Upanishad, Eko Devo Nitya Lila Anurukta Bhaktivedanta Radi Antar Atma. The one Supreme Personality of Godhead is eternally engaged in many, many transcendental forms in relationship with the unalloyed devotees. This Vedic version is confirmed in this verse of Gita personally by the Lord. He who accepts the truth on the strength of the authority of the Vedas and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and who does not waste time in philosophical speculations, attain the highest perfectional stage of liberation. So simply by accepting this truth and on faith, one can without a doubt attain liberation. The Vedic version Tattvamasi is actually applied in this case. Anyone who understands Lord Krishna to be the Supreme, or who says unto the Lord, who are the same Supreme Person and the personality of Godhead, is certainly liberated instantly, and consequently this entrance into the transcendental association of the Lord is guaranteed. In other words, such a faithful devotee of the Lord attains the perfection, and this is confirmed in the following Vedic assertion. Tvam eva viditvaiti mrityum eti nanya pantha vidyate na ananya. One can attain the perfect stage of liberation from birth and death simply by knowing the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And there is no other way to achieve this perfection. This is in Svetasatara Upanishad, 3rd chapter, 8th verse. Then there is no alternative means that anyone who does not understand Lord Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead is surely in the mode of ignorance, and consequently he will not attain salvation simply, so to speak, by licking the outer surface of the bottle of honey, or by interpreting Bhagavad Gita according to the mundane scholarship. Such empiric philosophers may assume very important roles in material world, but they are not necessarily eligible for liberation. Such puffed up mundane scholars have to wait for causeless mercy of the devotee of the Lord. One should therefore cultivate Krishna consciousness with faith and knowledge, and in this way attain perfection. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jatapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Patan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Sri Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namaham Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Srila Prabhupada tells, with faith and knowledge, we can understand what Krishna expects from us. The knowledge acquiring capacity is there in human being. It's limited in higher animals, all right? It's up to maximum it has been grown in demigods, which are very faithful servants of the Supreme Person, but they are living entities created by Brahma, and they appear, reappear, because they have long lifespan, like Brahma. So, they are also coming through the agency of Brahma repeatedly. But they are in tune with the service. This service in the material realm is very difficult. Just like we have hard times, we feel little pinch here and there, we need to sacrifice this or that, and choices are there. It's not an easy thing, but because faith, we can sustain our, practices. So faith is required, which is generated by association of the devotees. And when we enter into the bhajana kriya, which is guaranteed for ultimate experience of not only acquiring divinity, but also at the same time enter into an eternal activity which is very blissful and ever accumulating all the credits to go back home, back to Godhead. So, this is completely diametrically opposed to the material activity. And we are still struggling in the material life because we have material bodies. So at least knowledge acquiring about the divinity is essential. And as much practice we are performing within the limitations of the body, that has also to be accepted, right? So when we see the difference between the temporary and eternality has been already spoken by Lord Shri Krishna in the 2nd chapter when he describes what is divine. And it has to be discerned by the medium of intelligence. Medium of intelligence. So, na sato vidyate bhavo na bhavo vidyate asat ubayoropi drashtuvanta tattvadarshibhi. For the real there is no cessation, and for the unreal there is no endurance. So, that is the fundamental to sharpen our intelligence so we can utilize in the process. That divine is eternal too. But those qualities of divinity has been also described in 26 qualities of a devotee, what they will be developing. Right? But those who are impersonalists, they also develop. But what the scientists say, the somatical qualities and genetical qualities, any austere person can get a better result than those who are not austere. So similarly, the impersonalists also cultivate the discipline of cultivating something divine in their nature, but since they are diametrically opposing the existence of personality, they get stuck. They don't have faith on that. So their faith is limited and the result is also limited. They may think that this is the ultimate, but they are mistaken. They fall down. So, while Krishna's promise is that Tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mamiti suarjuna. When somebody falls down, he has to go through the grinding tribulations of the life over and over again. But here the cessation of the material life has been described by cultivation of divinity. So, taktya deham punarjanma naiti mamiti suarjuna. Right? So, devotees have better chance because there is only one characteristic of the 26 qualities are developed. That is existing in devotee, and those who are not devotees and impersonalists, they may cultivate the somatic. Somatic means feature are similar. Features are similar. External features are similar. Just like we see when a child is begotten, we always see, whose face is either mother's or father's. It's similar. So these are somatic differences. I mean, and similarities to be understood. But divine, there is only one quality in the devotee which is different from the other Mayavadi sannyasis or anybody, or sadhus. What is that?
Complete dependence on Krishna.
It's called surrender. They don't surrender to Krishna, devotees surrender to Krishna. Surrendering is the most important quality, and it fosters the faith, gets it verified, at the same time giving him accessibility to the highest realm of the perfection of devotional service, which is prema. So, our practice is, as designed in the Bhakti Shastras written by Srila Rupa Goswami, has been systematic on the basis of what Krishna has promised as the most confidential knowledge of pure devotional service. Pratyaksha avagamam dharmyam susukham kartum avyam. It's such a practice that is, it will happen right before your eyes. We have transformation of the heart. We have Krishna getting confirmed, verifiable. by our own experience. And the performance of the devotional service yields eternal result. Akshaya ashnute. Akshaya means without any kshaya means diminution or destruction of the assets. So, pratyaksha avagamam dharmyam susukham kartum avyam. And it is pleasant to be performed. While the other qualities that you have to work and to cultivate, even though they are not present in us, right? So, what makes all the qualities of 26 qualities in a devotee to manifest? What causes? That divine nature. All right? So, we say, every day we pray to the Guru. Chakshudana dilo jaya janme janme prabhu se divya jnana hriday prakashito. Even to see, observe the Vishwarupa of Lord Krishna, Arjuna didn't have the eyes to see, but because he is a devotee favored by Krishna, he offers him divine eyes, right? So Guru also offers divine eyes through Shastra Chakshus, then Divya Chakshu. So Shastra is important to explore the divinity, but we have to practice. Today is the day of Janmastami, and most of the believers, they think Krishna has been begotten, just like ordinary person. But Bhagavatam does not say that. Because we have to understand the secret that is exposed in the pages of Bhagavatam. Even Lord Shiva is telling Parvati, which is, her function is to give the material body. She is the custodian of material nature. Even she has to be educated by Lord Shiva. Divyata means the divinity of Lord Krishna is to be understood that he is not material, and that state of existence in divine quality is Vishuddha Sattva, not ordinary Sattva. Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudevam Sattvam. Vasudeva state, existence is divine. It's a Vishuddha Sattva. Now we know Sattva, right? We try to practice Sattva, but we have to contemplate. And contemplation should be on the qualities of the soul, not on the quality of the body. The quality of the soul, because soul is part and parcel of Krishna, it must be divine. You can take it for granted, but we are not experiencing because we are in the darkness of ignorance. But our practices are so designed that it will help us to understand divinity, because that is the premise where Krishna is available. Only those who understand his appearance and activities in the terms of divinity, they will, after quitting this body, never return. They go back home, back to Godhead, Lord Krishna. So, it's not like that we have to remain foolish. And these are not flowery languages that are shown like a carrot hanging in front of a donkey. We have to rise beyond the belief system on the experiential level. Most of the religions, them are man-made because they depend upon only belief system. Our beliefs have to be verified in turning into nishtha, unshakable faith. So the system. How come the system dies? That's material in nature. See? Okay. We have to revive the system, right? When Lord Shiva is teaching the custodian of the material nature, Durga Devi, it means whatever she has composed us into the eightfold material energy, mirapanano vayukam mano buddhirevacha ahankaram itiyame binna prakriti ashtata. She has to be educated. So these 8 prakritis we have to address within us. And the soul will come out. Soul will come out, become prominent to express in terms of the regulations which will prevent us back to fall into the material pool. So, divinity is the medium to understand the appearance and activity of Lord Sri Krishna. We enjoy really if we are imbued with transcendental knowledge, means it is parasattva. Brahma is advising us कि माया ही यस्य जगदंड सतानि सूते त्रैगुण्य तद विषय वेद वितायमाना सत्वावलंबी परसत्वम विशुद्ध सत्वम गोविंदमादि पुरुषम तमहम भज. This is our premise to work on. So never give up sattvic activities which are favoring to Lord Shri Krishna. They are more than sattvic. It becomes at par with the desire of the Lord to please Him, and therefore we must perform by conviction. Those who are not convicted, they get sick and tired of what is this, No, but encourage, become enthusiastic to support them and bring up. That is the service. Gruhyam puchyati akhyati cha. We must inquire into how do we cultivate better practices, and better practices can be done by better relations. These relations are based on Krishna and Guru. And we should continue. We should expand this in the spiritual society. We cannot become simply constricted to little what they call limited grouping. They call guru groupism. Be aware of that. It is not healthy practice. Otherwise everything will be spoiled. We need to understand the purpose all the time. Remind us, then it will definitely allow us to progress towards the desired result, which is going back home, back to Godhead. Evam Vyakti is very much important, not make-believe stuff. No, this is beyond belief. I think Suhotra Swami wrote a book about beyond belief and reason. Do you remember? Huh? Have you read it? No. So beyond belief and reasoning, that is rationality. That is so. But Krishna consciousness is beyond belief and reasoning. The practices of we are told in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, on the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Rupa Goswami wrote in such a transcendental experience, that it opens up the world of the transcendental nature. So, in the literatures of the higher understanding, Rupa Goswami says it's also possible that Lord Krishna has appeared from the womb of Mother Yashoda simultaneously. So when he explains that it's a realm of Krishna's appearance and possibility through the transcendental understanding, not material reasoning. There is no way. But that is more enlivening, that Krishna can simultaneously expanding himself as Paramatma. He can appear any way he likes. For him, what is the difference between heart and womb? What is the difference between heart and womb? Both are internal organs physically, but at the same time, they are vital organs. All right? And when a pure devotee becomes the medium for the Lord to appear, this purity is of divine nature. So, you can resolve all the contradictions by this Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva. Understanding all this, it's not a boring thing, but it is a life of contemplation, and we accumulate as much experience in divine and the divine mechanism which is working. And that is the potency embedded in pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada, and exposed the falsity of the Mayavadis and impersonalists. Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Destarine. And Paschatya Des are supposed to be instrumental in spreading completely obnoxious lifestyle. And we are imitating that. That is not fair. So, Vedic lifestyle was coming into proper disciplic succession, and it was written in the pages of history. We can refer to that, and we can implement the message for our own experience and divinity. Only then and then we have accessibility to go back. So Srila Prabhupada said, this practice must be performed strictly. And don't become threatened by strictness that Aniruddha Prabhu and the education system that has been. It is highly important. We do not find much of this standard anywhere in our ISKCON centers. You travel, I have been traveling, I'm going, but this is most appreciable that you are coming from cream of the material education, but also taking cream of the transcendental education simultaneously. So there is every chance that all of you will go back home, back to Godhead sooner or later. It's not a flowery language. I'm not a linguistic. After all, English is not my language. I'm a Guju boy. Right? So anyway, I'm trying to convey that is the needed, encouragement to, fulfill what we have to understand. Lord Sri Krishna, His appearance and activities are divine. Only then and then we are making attempt. So never give up this goal. All right? How did Devaki and Vasudeva, even in previous millennium, they were Vrishni and Sutapa and Aditi and Kashyap Muni, and now in the third millennium was Devaki and Vasudeva, the same personalities, maybe different in bodily conception, but they were also of divine nature, demigod nature. They had a resolve. To obtain a son, Lord Himself, and to witness the childhood pastimes which are highly celebrated. Childhood pastimes, to witness. But for witnessing, in first two generations, they felt that our devotional service is not enough. Not enough. Bhagavatam says, Tivrena Bhakti Yogena Yajat Purusham Param. So this principle were invested and they continued in the second millennium, and in the third millennium also they were trying and requesting, and they were so much aware that Vasudeva, when he reached to the Vishuddha Sattva stage, himself, then and then Lord Krishna appeared in his heart. Then he established Lord Sri Krishna by process of initiation in the heart of Devaki, not in the womb of Devaki. But see, the demigods, they are always very eager to understand only in personification idea. So simply by looking the effulgence of Devaki, they understood, they didn't speculate, but they understood that Lord must have taken place in the womb of Mother Devaki. Right? So they came to glorify, Devaki. But the Lord was in the heart of Devaki, not in the womb of Devaki. Right? And when He appeared, He didn't come by the way of delivery. He stood right in front of them in his Aniruddha form, that is Chaturbuj Narayan, with Shankha Chakra Gada Padma, and he stands on lotus feet. Devaki and Vasudeva, we know you, but we didn't ask you to come. See, the trial and intensity of obtaining the baby Krishna is so much that they are aware. It's not that in the third millennium they will go empty-handed. We know who you are, but we didn't ask for you to come. We need you in your original form. I said, I understand, but Krishna is giving excuse. I cannot perform childhood pastimes within this walls of jail. Okay, I have to go somewhere. But you will not witness. You will not witness. Yes, we are ready, because we are not the only devotees. There are so many devotees, even the Veda personified, they appear. So they are all knowledgeable. Vasudeva and Devaki were full knowledge. So, knowledge and love, they had love, but actually more knowledgeability is there. Right? And Krishna says, okay, you shift me from here, Vasudeva, okay, let's go. You take me through Yamuna, and Vasudeva believed. He didn't argue, how am I going to cross this? No, nothing. Everything was pre-arranged. And Vasudeva placed baby Krishna and left. Right? They had darshan, that's about it, but not participation in any of the childhood pastimes. We hanker for childhood pastimes, but it is very, very intensified, that how Krishna can enact. At that time, they have all the loss of such knowledge memory. Memory of the knowledge, they lost simply by observing and participating in childhood pastime. It's so much intensive because it is the accumulation of so much heaps of pious activities. Bahukruta punja punja. When the Gopa Balakas, they were playing with Lord Krishna, they must have accumulated heaps of pious activities, which is not even available to the impersonalist or those who are meditating on the Paramatma level. They can't understand these things. So, the Gopa children, they must have accumulated heaps of pious activities. So, understanding in the process of Rupa Goswami's methodology is very important, and a time will come we will be able to relish the pastimes that are being described by Sukadeva Goswami. But the practice of bhakti we have to learn. Therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so strict, that coming to the conclusion of the purpose of becoming religious. So, Aradhyastanaya Vrajendra Nandana. If you want to worship that childhood pastimes of Vrajendra Tanaya, that is Lord Shri Krishna, who is the son of Nanda Maharaj, that is the highest goal. But you have to use the methodology of Tadhamam Vrindavan, only how Brajavasis were using the methodology. And you have to follow Ramya Kajit Upasana Brajavadur Vargajha Kalpita. We have to accept the process the gopis, did. And Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Amala Puranam and Prema Pumartha Mahan, the ultimate aim that will quench all our vacancies in our heart is the obtaining love of Godhead. That is the Pancham Purushartha. So we have to do Purushartha, means our own effort. Every individual has to perform their own effort to come to the realization, and cultivation of divinity is the medium. Only by understanding that way we will be able to understand Krishna and never come back into the material world. So this is a very gradual and successive experience. It's not fake. One has to develop. So on this day of Krishna Janmastami, the primary reminder to us is Janma Karma Me Vedavyam. Alright? And then relish. It will be, what they call, when the fragrance is embedded in gold, the value of gold is increasing. The fragrance is divine, gold is not divine. Alright? So, anybody has any question, comments? Oh my God. Mother first. She raised her hand first. Hare, can you pass the mic?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you so much for the association. Now, as you explained that the divine knowledge or the divinity we can cultivate in the shelter of a guru. Now, Arjun and other Pandavas did not have guru, whereas Lord Krishna himself had a guru. So, how should we understand this?
The original guru, but he always descends through difficult succession, unbroken chain of difficulty. Do you think you will be study only under headmaster or the teachers who are working under headmaster? Wow. Now how are they going to ask questions? Krishna is the transcendental moiety, he is the original guru, but he has to transmit himself through via transparent, via medium. The guru should not be tainted, but the guru from Madhyamadhikari may try to explain, otherwise Uttamadhikari doesn't need anything to explain, only simply he will be engaged by his personal experience and become exemplary. He cannot break his meditation. But Madhyamadhikari are teachers, and they teach by Guru Sadhu Shastra. Krishna does not appear. Naham prakasa sarvasya yoga maya samavruta. Why do we take other way around? Oh, Krishna is sitting in my heart, I don't need a guru. That is enviousness. And secrets of devotional service cannot be revealed to those who are envious. Idam tu te guhyatamam pravakshyami anasuyave jnana vijnana sahitam yad gyatvam mokshashe. Gyan means theoretical knowledge, but vijnana means practical knowledge. Yes. Oh, really? I never knew. How do you know it's wonderful? How do you think it is wonderful?
Maharaj, because you made many jokes in the class.
Oh my God! Do you think the jokes are wonderful? or trying to convey the meaning is wonderful?
Maharaj, my question is that Kashyap Muni was such a great devotee and he wanted to serve the Lord, so why didn't he go to Goloka to serve the Lord? Why did he keep on serving the Lord in the material world?
Who Muni? Kashyap Muni. Kashyap Muni, was begotten by Brahma to become a Prajapati. What do you mean by Prajapati? Are you a Prajapati? You will become a Prajapati. You better believe the rules of becoming a Prajapati. All right? Otherwise, you will not become Prajapati, but you will become a Prajabakshi. You will chew up the humanity. So, it is important because all the jivas, and during the time of devastations, they are in subtle bodies. But to make them progress, Brahma has to give them appropriate bodies according to whatever the mentality which was locked up during the time of quitting the body. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajantyante kalevram. So Kashyap Muni and all the Prajapatis, even human beings, are also, according to Manu and Shatrupa, that they came, they carry the same obligation to ultimately liberate the praja, means the dependents, children, they are praja. So they have to be given appropriate body from time after time. Brahma has the business every day like this. So, and during the night of Brahma, what happens to all the living entities? They lose their material bodies in the pralaya, means devastation, water of devastation. And when Brahma's life is ended, even Brahma has to come back. He is not free. So to stop the repetition of birth and death, proper education has to be given. All right? So Kashyap Muni had to stay to become Prajapati and fulfill that obligation is a great responsibility. No. If Kashyap Muni goes back home, back to Godhead, then what will happen to the other prajas? Like snakes and Garuda, they will not be called. But according to the nature of devotion, mother of Garuda, Vanita, asked Kashyap Muni to please grant him a son who will become a devotee. And Kashyap Muni fulfilled that desire. Isn't it a great job? Huh? But the mother of snakes and other poisonous, entities was Kadru. She was also wife of Kashyap Muni. And she asked something nasty. I want so many children with long bodies, black in color, and poisonous. And Kashyap Muni says, okay, because there are so many living entities, you can also begot. You are a good son, always remain a good son. Don't become poisonous. All right? Yeah. Krishna bless you. Yeah. All right. Jor se. Okay.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for the class. Can you please say one of your favorite pastime of baby Krishna or Gopal?
Favorite pastime? Killing of Putna? Yeah. And Bhaktivedanta Thakur explains, Putna means false guru. And it startled me. So I have to be very careful. I prayed Krishna to kill false guru. So I like that pastimes the best. And you know how did it happen? However clamor or glamour a person can change according to the nasty desire, it's always nasty. They may look attractive, but it's always nasty. The mentality will be exposed in due course of time, So one has to become very aware that if it is a nasty mentality, pray to Krishna that please save me. Otherwise I will not be able to continue your devotional service. At the same time, you see, when Putana come in a completely changed, beautiful personality, all the gopas and gopis, even though they attracted, but they understood that she must be coming from some demigods. Because such beauty is only available to the goddesses. And they were very innocent, but at the same time, Krishna is not aloof. But the devotees don't have to cast aspersion on anything, but at the same time remain watchful for the end result. Then Krishna takes care. Our detachment to this falsity or temporarity of the material world, which are, even though however alluring, we should be very careful and not to be carried away with it. So, that is the understanding of the pastime. Any other question? Yes?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you for enlightening us. You mentioned Gyan and Vigyan.
Yes.
So how to, even though we are performing devotional service, we are thinking we are having practical knowledge.
That's Vigyan. Vigyan means Gyan is becoming manifesting through proper perception, and you agree with it. That is Vigyan. The result is that Pratyaksha Avagama. Pratyaksha means it's happening right before your eyes. It's not a make-believe thing. Those who are not acquainted with practice and premise of that what will you get, then people cannot inadvertently say that, oh, it is only theoretical. No, not. Theory is there, at the same time proving the theory is the Vigyan. And Krishna does not leave anything unturned. Jnana Vijnana Sahitam Yad Gyatva Mokshasya Asubha. If you know only theory and no practical, then it is inauspicious. Auspicious means you are confirmed that there is a positive result and you will anchor for it. So process of bhakti is perfect. We have to remain humble in practicing that I may be imperfect, but the process I have taken is perfect, and that is the only hope for my perfection to go back home, back to Godhead. It's not only believing, but performing. The proof of pudding is in eating it, means perform bhakti. Bhakti is not simply a mental titillation. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for the class. Once I heard from a spiritual master that we just do not practice pure devotional service because deep down inside we don't believe Krishna is a person. So my question to you is, what can we do, or how do we destroy this deep-rooted impersonalism that is in our hearts? Thank you.
Prabhupada said, for agnostic who doesn't have any reasonability and simply decrying by speculation, then rationalism even fails there. Because for rationality there is no basis. All right? So, an atheist, we are not supposed to tell the secret even. Offense number 9 on the holy name, then never preach to an atheist. Right? This is not a science to be checked by unauthorized processes, unauthorized medium, which are anti. So Adav Shraddha means the faith is generated by association. Without association, nothing can be generated. You know? Now, whom do you decide to associate with? A practitioner or simply bookish knowledge? One time in Los Angeles, Prabhupada was giving class and somebody raised the question, I'm reading Bible. Do I need a guru? Prabhupada said, Bible has written by somebody and you follow him. That is your guru. But you need to be secure whether am I taking for granted that person who has, say, James version. I have not seen him, I have not experienced him. How do I believe? No. But when you associate with the practitioners, you will generate that kind of faith according to that association. So, when devotees who are very faithful to Srila Prabhupada, and they were also there in association of Srila Prabhupada, or subsequently, like myself, I did not associate much with Srila Prabhupada, but I have had darshan. I associated with his disciples, senior disciples. The faith can pass on, but the requisite faith is required, not anything of a belief system. Requisite faith. What is a requisite faith? The faith that will be practicable, and practice will give you the experience. You should see subsequent development in our own psyche or own belief system, that it is tangible, it is practicable, it is happy to be practiced. Not by believing person can become happy, by practice one can become happy. So, gradually develop that. Ādau shraddha tato sadhu sangata bhajana kriyatha anartha nivrittisya. These are stages of development to make ourselves perfect. The process is perfect. At what extent are you following? That depends upon your. The bahu janma yadi kare shravana kirtana tabutana paya Krishna pade premadana. You may keep on chanting for life after life, but if you are not developing or progressing in association of the devotees, then what is the check on you? We are supposed to remove our anarthas also in association of the devotees. Alone we cannot do. We may cheat. Cheating propensity is there. Have you ever cheated in your life? Yes? Yeah. Nice to admit, but you will stop cheating, right? In association. That's good. All right, you must be hungry, huh? Oh no, sorry, you are fasting.
Fasting, Guru Maharaj. Okay, Guru Maharaj. Thank you for the nice class to enlighten on the Janma Karma Chame Divyam. Today you mentioned that the Gopas, they have done lot of pious activity. That's what mentioned in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam also. But they were already situated with the Lord in the pure goodness, in the Shuddha Sattva. Now what enables one to transcend from the pious to this Shuddha Sattva?
Pious activity doesn't mean materially pious, devotionally pious.
So how do you distinguish the devotionally pious? Because pious
definitely, pious activities means be good but not go beyond the goodness. It is more than more of goodness. This is parasattva. So, we are supposed to be more benevolent even in parasattva, means superior than sattva. That is adhyatma, that is the nature of the soul. It is eternal. It has its own quality, just like Krishna, but it's very insignificant. But the qualitative sameness is there, quantitative difference will be there. So, that's okay. But if we become qualitatively saying divinity is obtained. So then and then we'll be able to interact with Krishna. Right? So, any activity that is in mode of goodness, but it is towards devotional service, can you enter into Parasattva. Why does Srila Prabhupada is not advising us to simply helping the poor, this is not our activity. We do not discriminate in prasad distribution. We do not discriminate. We give the advantage of prasadam. So, while chanting and practicing, we have to provide that. We do not have to hire people from outside and make possible so much an industrial product without, iota of devotional service. Prasadam is to be prepared by the devotees and distributed by the devotees through the medium of chanting of Hare Krishna. The midday meal does not allow you to chant Hare Krishna, and yet it becomes a social activity without much tangible benefit. No wonder Jayadeva Swami wrote the book Food for Death, not food for life. Spiritual death will be there. How would you compete when the government is forcing you to provide one egg also along with your so-called prasad? It's trapping you. I heard Madhu Pandit told, we will supply you money, you purchase the egg and provide. I said, it's a karmic reaction, somehow or other you are connected. No, prasad means prasad. Prasade sarva dukkhanam hani rasyopajayate. It's not only helping physically, but also spiritually. And Prabhupada said nobody should go hungry in 10-mile radius of the temple. It means they have to come here and take prasad. We are not making a tiffin service here. So they are given opportunity to expose and associate with devotees. The lifestyle that is perfect.
So if any service is done to the pure devotees of the Lord, does that also begets the Shuddha Sattva or just the...
With the but everybody has the obligation to become pure. This is called repeated birth and death. Right? What is the perfection with imperfect senses? This is it. Yes. No prasad, no hurry, right? Good.
My my question is transitioning from belief to experience. That is experiencing. Because we are, I know you covered in the class that we are engaged in these senses and we can only perceive things with our senses in the current stage. So how do we know that our experience is not coming from material platform, but rather it's spiritual? It's coming from a spiritual experience. What's the difference between a spiritual experience and a material experience? How can we base our belief on that?
Coming out from the stratum of material experiences is through the senses. The senses have been abused. The consciousness that is running through the senses is spiritual in nature. It has been endowed by the Paramatma to the Atma. And we polluted it, we abused it for sense gratification. So, in the degree of our sense gratification, we will be having some delay in understanding. But keep on purifying. The effect of the holy name is purifying the lower modes of material nature and establish us into mode of goodness at least. Evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhakti yogata bhagavad tattva vijnanam mukta. So that is the progression. Keep on doing. And then last is vidyate hridaya granthi chindyanti sarva samshaya kshiyante chasya karmani drashta eva atmanishvare. You will be coming face to face yourself that you have not known yet, but in front of your maker, Paramatma. Both are. So, self-realization and God-realization will happen simultaneously. Without God-realization, you will not understand self-realization. And without self-realization, you will not understand God-realization. Because both are qualitatively one. So this is the progression, that is Bhagavad Dharma. 5 slokas are very important for practice. But that is the initial premise. Sutta Goswami is knowing all this, but then when the entry of Sukadeva Goswami comes, it's, amazing, amazing. Why did the Rishimuni in Naimisharanya started this yajna for 1000 years? Huh? No, because they were part of the transition period from 1000-year lifespan of Dwapar Yuga to 100-year lifespan. So there is continuity of the spiritual foundation established by them. One life is not enough, but if we remain sincere, follow in the discipline that Srila Prabhupada guaranteed this lifetime. Prabhupada said that. We will get enough experiences, kicks of Maya, but yet we are like donkeys and do not want to progress further, then it will take time. After all, donkey has to move. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, you mentioned that Putna represent bogus guru, but end of the result for her was that she became maid servant in the Golok Vrindavan. Whereas the bona fide guru, which was Brahmaji, when the Brahma Vimohan Leela happened, end of the result was that, he was feeling very sorry what he did. So how can we compare?
We'll have to continue to become sorry that we failed. Ultimately, we will have a hope that there is a limited situation. Why? Because it's the mercy of the Lord that He can mitigate the problem, in a flick of a second. In a flick of a second. If He chooses to, we can't twist Krishna's hands. Do it faster, come on, I'm your devotee. Naham prakasa sarvasya yogamaya samavrata. So in the degree of our surrender to Lord Krishna, Krishna reveals accordingly. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam saseva bhajamyam. But to this enactment of bhauma pastimes, they are there, but the what they call aprakat pastimes, they are ever going on repeatedly in Golok Vrindavan. So when Krishna descends, so many personalities also want to come descend and play the role. Yeah.
Krishna Maharaj, thank you for the class. Maharaj, I had one question that Mother Yashoda and Nand Maharaj did penance in their past lives to get the Supreme Lord as their child. But we see in this case, as you also mentioned, that they were on the platform of knowledge. So they were following Krishna as it is, what he was saying. They didn't question that how will cross Yamuna and all those things. But parallelly, Devki and Vasudev. But Yashoda Maiya and Nand Maharaj, they had great fortune because they got to see the childhood of Krishna. But Devki and Vasudev had done penance to get Krishna as their child, but they could not fulfill that boon maybe. So I'm asking that, what was the fortune of Mother Yashoda that Yashoda Nand Maharaj got to see the child, but Devki and Vasudev?
This is explained that they have immense love for Lord Krishna. But even though they were situated in which loka? Gandharva loka? They were, Nanda and Yashoda, both were Dhara and Drona, right? But where they were situated? Not in Golok Vrindavan. Even in, but in superior towards Svargaloka, they were situated. And they had immense love. So they were bereft of any knowledge. Sometimes knowledge becomes superseding to the love aspect. Krishna saw that qualification. In both of them, and gave the chance to enact the pastimes. Krishna is revealed to whomever he chooses to be. But did they ever know the majesty of Lord Krishna? Because the knowledge of the majesty interferes in love. How come the pastimes of Vrindavan are most important? Because there is no politics there, no majestic power displays, nothing. It is so natural that even Krishna was killing Putana and all the demons repeatedly. They say, "Oh, Vishnu saved my child. Vishnu saved my child." The child is Vishnu. So, knowledge is inferior in front of love of Godhead. Right? But knowledge is required because it is a grilling process to come from the base material quality to spiritual quality. Knowledge is required. But regardless, Krishna fulfilled the desire of his parents, Devaki and Vasudeva, after liberating them from the clutches of Kamsa. Even Devaki's sentiments about, oh, she was so unfortunate not to witness the childhood pastimes. But she asked Krishna that, I know you can do it. And Krishna did it by creating new Vrindavan on the shore of Dwarka, the sea. So this is in continuation, and that is explained by Sanatana Goswami. You may read like novel, but this is allowing you transcendental realization which is continued. How could it be a novel? Other novels are not giving you any transcendental realization. They are filth. They will degrade you. But this is Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, continuation of the flowing nectar of not only immortality, but loving immortality of Vrindavan. That continues. Any other question? Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.